Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women. Have decided to come and spend some time in our company. And so thank you so much for being a supporter of GPS. So today on the show, we are talking about the journey of reconciliation of Mother Africa and her diaspora. And I want to make it clear that this is not going to just be all about kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya, and how do we, reconcile for the wrongs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's a part of this conversation. However, we're going to spend some time during this conversation talking about what the effects of that reconciliation can be for Africa and the diaspora as it relates to economic emancipation. Because it's all well and good that we all come together and we say, I'm sorry for selling you into slavery, and I'm sorry for all of, all that's well and good. And that's very important for healing. But more importantly, is how do we get Africa and her diaspora to a place of economic prosperity through this collaboration, through this reconciliation, through this atonement? That is what we're going to be talking about on the show today. And I have invited someone here today to be a guest on the show who is an incredible woman. She is the founder and chairperson of the 6th Region Global Chamber of Commerce. And she is someone who is working very closely with the kings and queens of Africa to organize an event that is going to be held in Panama very soon, where the kings and queens of Africa come to the Americas to be a part of a ceremony to atone. Reconciliation between the kings and queens of Africa and the descendants of Africa in a way to heal the wounds that were inflicted upon the children of Africa by the Africans who participated in the slavery trade by selling their own people into slavery. When I say their own people, not necessarily from their country, but the people of the continent of Africa. They were very much involved in the slave trade because, we are very quick to point fingers at the Europeans, the people of a lighter hue, and the role that they played in slavery. But truth be told, some people of our color played a role as well. And so this whole journey of reconciliation, atonement, was the brainchild of Dr. Melida Harris Barrow. And she decided that it was time that we deal with this. It was time that we face the elephant in the room and bring together the people of Africa and their long lost children to come together for a place of healing and reconciliation. And like I said, we're gonna touch on that for sure. But the better part of this conversation, I want us to look at, fast forward to 2022. What can we do to come together to usher in this new wealth transfer, this new global reset that we're hearing so much about? But as it relates to the people, the children, the descendants of Africa, working now with those who are in Africa to bring about this economic emancipation. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And so I want to begin the show with my first clip. And this clip is pretty much it's a very short clip. This clip is breaking down for us what is the concept of a diaspora. That's clip number 1.
Diasporas are groups of migrants or descendants of migrants who maintain effective and material ties to their countries of origin. Due to globalization, not only residents have a stake in national development, but also diasporas, if they can be engaged, enabled, and empowered to do so. Diasporas have the potential to make many contributions, such as remittances, diaspora tourism, skills transfer, philanthropy, and business investment. To facilitate stronger diaspora involvement in development, it is important that countries identify its own goals and capacities in undertaking this pursuit, know the diaspora that they hope to engage with, and build trust with the government and the diaspora communities. Diasporas can also be engaged as potential partners for sustainable development and the 2030 Agenda, through diaspora's human, financial, and social capital, which can be employed to achieve progress on development goals in countries of origin.
And so that's a brief nutshell of what a diaspora is. And I want you to remember what was said in that clip as it relates to this conversation that we are going to have today about the African diaspora and working in collaboration with governments of the various countries of Africa. And those of us who are descendants of Africa who have been dispersed all over the Americas, the Caribbean, etc. Because that information is going to play a pivotal role in what we are going to be discussing on the show today. So we're just waiting for my guest to sign in. And as soon as she gets online, then we're going to dive right into this conversation. Because as somebody who's known Melida now for, a good several years, I can tell you that this woman is a dynamo. She is something else. And she's a very powerful speaker. She is very forward in her thinking, progressive in her thinking, and bold. And she believes in calling a spade and calling the truth. And she went into Africa and said, listen, y'all got some explaining to do. you have to atone. Yes, this is something that happened long before you were born, but we have to do this symbolically. We have to come together and we have to atone. You have to atone for the wrongs that your ancestors did to our ancestors, because that is the only way that we will be able to bring about healing and get beyond the healing, but go into a place of empowerment where both the children of Africa, descendants of Africa, and the kings and queens of Africa and the people who are now in the motherland can all benefit from this alliance, from this reconciliation, from this atonement. So it's a very important conversation that we're going to be having today. And while we wait for her to come on, I'll just throw out the telephone numbers so that you can take a note of them if you wish to be a part of the conversation a little later today, a little later in the show. The numbers are 326-0271, 326-0271. That's 326-0271 or 326-0272, 326-0272. 326-0272. And of course, we have a WhatsApp line, and that line is 824 9952. 824-9952. Now, let me just say about the WhatsApp. Do not call the WhatsApp line, okay? Because we can't take your call. I won't be able to plug you into the system, so nobody will be able to hear what you're saying if you call in. It's strictly a line for you to send a text message, okay? So again, that number is 824-9952. 824-9952. Go ahead, call a friend, let them know the GPS is on the air, and we're going to be having a very important discussion today about the atonement, reconciliation between Mother Africa and the descendants of Africa, and what that means for us from a financial standpoint. And I promise you, you're going to hear some things in this show that are going to blow your mind as it relates to what has proven to be a plot or a system perpetuated on Africa to keep Africa impoverished. And I think once we understand what is happening, then we can translate this information into what we are experiencing in our own country and understand how this is systematic and systemic. Because once we understand what is happening, then we can make decisions that will help to break the cycle, will help to end this continuous cycle of poverty and want, both in Africa and amongst its diaspora. Because if you look at it, the majority of the people who are not benefiting from the common wealth of this nation are people of a darker hue. And there are many factors as to why that is. But as you'll learn in this show, there are some things that are in place even now that are contributing to the continuation of that. And so this is what we're going to be talking about today. And I really hope Melida gets on soon. I'm not sure how it is that she's not here yet. Just sent her a message to tell her that we're waiting for her to log on. So hopefully she will log on soon, so that we can get this conversation going. While we wait for her to come on, and I really wanted her to be here to see this report so she could comment on it, particularly from her role as the founder of the 6th Region Global Chamber of Commerce, because the whole purpose of the chamber, I wonder why my device is not connecting. The whole purpose of the chamber is to facilitate economic cooperation between the African diaspora and the African continent. That is the whole purpose of her founding the chamber. And so she's all about business. She's all about helping to connect people with investment opportunities, etc. I am really excited to see what comes of this event that's being planned for Panama, because this is an historic moment when, for the first time that I'm aware of, the descendants of Africa will hear from the kings and queens of that continent a message of atonement and apology, really, for the wrongs that are still impacting us today. And so I don't know what's going on, Jason. It's saying that my device is not connected. I'm not sure what to do to connect it. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so the telephone number is 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line 824-9952, 824-9952. I wonder if she's having the same issue that I am. That's a possibility. Okay, so in the meantime, there is an all-out plan and plot to keep Africa impoverished. You know, we all have seen the images of starving children in Africa and the extreme poverty that is experienced in Africa. And we all know that many countries in Africa are really struggling financially. But when you consider the amount of natural resources that Africa has, then that should be the richest continent in the world, because they have been blessed with raw natural resources that is worth billions of dollars. And so you have to question then, why is it that if there's all of this wealth hidden in Africa, why are the people suffering? Why are the people not benefiting from the wealth? And again, we could ask the same kind of question here in the Bahamas. You know, we have all of these natural resources, but the people, for the most part, are not benefiting from those natural resources. Some time ago, I came across a clip that was called "The Paradox of," talking about the paradox of wealth, or the paradox of having a country that is blessed with all of these natural resources, because unfortunately, that opens a door many times for corruption, and that corruption is really what leads to the poverty. And so I want you to listen to this. This is clip number 1, because this clip, and I promise you, you're going to have your minds blown as you listen to this clip. Number 1, Jason, clip number 1. Oh, no, number 2. Yes, number 2, clip number 2. As you listen to this clip, you are going to have your minds blown, because this professor that is speaking in this clip is going to break down for you why it is that so many countries in Africa, the people of Africa, are suffering through poverty, when based on the natural resources that exist in their countries, they should be living in extreme wealth. And again, this is an important part of the conversation that we are going to have, because the same thing is happening around the world to the diaspora. We can see it right here in the Bahamas, where we have all of these natural resources that are being exploited by a select few. But it's not trickling down. The wealth is not trickling down to the masses. So I want you to listen to this clip. This is clip number 2. And this is going to give you a better idea of why that is happening.
Africa, historically, sub-Saharan Africa, has been fundamental to the global prosperity of the advanced countries. Okay? And Africa had a role to play. It has a role as a raw material producer. We will not allow sub-Saharan Africa to escape that. Okay, we do everything to keep sub-Saharan Africa where it is, also impoverished. It's absolutely vital for the prosperity of everyone else. So let's get clear about that. Okay, and this means all the economic structures, all the global institutions, and the economics we teach everyone is all designed to keep Africa exactly where it is. And whether it is Europe or US or now China, it's always the same. We need Africa to be impoverished because we need those raw materials and we need them dirt cheap. Okay, so that's the message. It doesn't mean to say that there's nothing Africans can do. Of course there is. Okay, but this is the opposition that they're fighting. This is what it's about. Because if Africa does do something different, I assure you living standards of all those in Europe and North America and Asia is going to fall. Okay? And that is a big price to pay. I assure you that the West is not going to allow that without a big fight. Okay, so this is what it's fundamentally about.
Okay, so in case you didn't understand what the gentleman just said, what's really happening is that Africa is rich with all of these natural resources, right? They've got the diamonds, they've got the cocoa, all these natural minerals and resources that they have. But there has been this all-out plot and plan to convince them, and I want you all to think of how familiar this sounds when you hear this, that they really don't have very much value in their raw state. So you might as well just sell them to me in their raw state. I give you what I can give you, but they really don't have that much value. So we will give you what we can give you for it. But you know, this is how you're going to survive. You just keep selling this to me, and you know, we'll give you, you know, whatever we could give you for it, but it's really not worth that much. Meanwhile, countries like Switzerland, other European nations, United States, etc., would take that raw material back to their own country and refine the raw material to use for its own benefit and make itself rich off of the refined product. Sound familiar? How many times have we been told that aragonite really doesn't have much value? Ain't no value to that. Y'all around here making all this noise about aragonite, ain't no value to that. But yet it's being sold and then refined and then used in so many different ways that if we were doing the refining, how much wealthier would we be? So this is happening in Africa as well. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
God bless you and good morning. Really, good afternoon, Michelle.
Hi.
JT here.
What you saying, JT?
Well, you know, as I heard you with your opening comments just now, and I was listening to that clip, I did think about how the special interests in this country over the years have treated we the Bahamian people in regards to aragonite.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's not, as I'm sure you would know and appreciate, it's not only just the aragonite.
No, that was just the one that I used as an example.
Yes. But the reason I'm putting it that way, do you know Prescott Smith from Andros?
Very well.
Well, his story is an indication of how Black Bahamians are intentionally marginalized in this country. A designed attempt, in my view, to disenfranchise us, indigenous Black Bahamians, from the wealth of this country. For example, he, for the past 9 years or so, he was endeavoring to put up a full-service marina in Fresh Creek, Andros.
Yes.
It's called the Blue Hole Marina Project. He was approved under the Minnis administration. Okay, and his project was announced by the minister, Dr. Minnis himself, when he was Prime Minister. The project was never given the documents of approval for Prescott to go ahead and develop his project. Now, shortly before the last election, last year, September, that very same location and that very same project was part and parcel of an announced redevelopment of the Lighthouse Club in Fresh Creek, Andros, by a group, a consortium of Bahamians who would have apparently have money, and they would have come together and gone to the Minnis administration. The same basic idea. Now, let me tell you why I'm laying that foundation in regards to your theme today, Michelle. The story of Prescott Smith if when one hears it, they would probably cry. Because the young man, he is the owner and the operator of the Stafford Creek Bonefish Lodge in Stafford Creek, Andros.
Mm-hmm.
From what he has shared with me and has shared on the radio many times, there is an intentional effort to shut him down, simply because those who allegedly and apparently have been attacking him don't want him as a black Bahamian to be, or a typical Bahamian to be owning and operating a marina. They want it for themselves and their ilk.
You see what happened to me when I spoke out against
Oh, my Lord, ain't that something?
Okay.
People, see, there's really and truly, when it comes to the control of the media by those who have heavy hands, in those respects, there is no freedom of information. They don't allow it, because when you spoke out, you were removed. I understand when other persons on that very same station, which the name of which I will not call today, when others would have been speaking out on issues, they themselves were either muzzled or removed. So the thing that I would say is, now we need in this country, and I hate to put it like this, Michelle, but we need another Burma Road experience.
Mm.
I am not an advocate of violence. I will never promote violence.
Right.
But I promote radicalism.
Mm.
Because if you're going to have the minority who thinks that they deserve something and you shouldn't have it because they want it, there's something wrong with that picture. Africa, is it not that Africa is the location of the biggest diamond mine in the world? Is that a fact?
I would think so, yeah.
Right. Africa, every country in Africa today that has a diamond mine, their citizens ought to be part of.
Not just diamonds. They that continent is so rich in minerals and cocoa. I mean, that is arguably the richest continent on Earth.
On planet, right?
Yes.
And you see, this thing is spiritual, and I will only briefly touch on it. But Africa, as the Bible would have taught, would have made it clear in Genesis, Africa is the birthplace of humanity. The Garden of Eden, from all indications, were over in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe it's a spiritual attack by the devil on Africa, because of that being the place where God birthed humanity on this planet. But again, that's another story for another day. But the long and short of it is, Michelle, no person, because of the color of their skin, has the right to anything. Or no person, because of the color of their skin, should not be allowed to benefit from anything.
We as the people of darker hue we have to take a look at ourselves.
Yes.
And what role we are playing in perpetuating this. Because it seems that every other race, their people are able to come together,
mm-hmm.
to support each other, to uplift each other.
Yep, true enough.
But us.
Yeah,
go ahead.
As challenging as it is in Haiti, for the Haitians in Haiti, when they're out of their country, they stand together. Jamaicans, when they're out of their country, as they do at home, they stand together. The Cubans, the same thing. They stand together. So the question I would like to ask, as you alluded to in your comment, is why is it that we Bahamians at home and abroad find it so hard to stand together? What is the problem with us? When I heard you make mention a bit ago of alluded to the Aragonite situation, I remembered an article that was published by not Shanique Miller, Kendia Dames.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might have been in 2012. I think I started to be corrected.
Saying there was no value in it?
Yes.
Very little value, yeah.
Yes,
mm-hmm.
yes. And she was so adamant in her article about people getting emotive. That's the word I remember her using. People get too emotive about the issue. But she was not looking deeply into the issue to find out why people like me and you and Prescott would be emotional about these things. And I was so sad and disappointed in her because she allowed herself, in my humble opinion and with all due respect to her, because I like her as a person and I like her as a journalist, but Candia Dames allowed herself to have been deceived by listening to those who were controlling. Michelle, you know it from your research, and I've heard other people say it, that those who export aragonite from the Bahamas, they sell it to themselves here in the Bahamas for pennies.
Refine it, and then
they ship that same Bahamian cheap value that they falsely put on the product here. They ship it to their countries in the United States, and they sell it on the open market for thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars per ton. When they're only selling it for pennies or dollars over here in the Bahamas. It's intentional. It's by design.
Of course.
And when a noted journalist is not going to dig deep to find out these truths and realities, I lose respect for the integrity of any journalist who behaves like that. And when you have persons who in government, like a Mr. Christie, and I like Mr. Hubert Alexander Ingram, and I like Mr. Pindling, who would have been hearing the cry of the Bahamian people, particularly Mr. Christie and Ingram, about this aragonite and the value of it, and they've done nothing to improve that industry for the masses of the people. I cry shame on them. Mm-hmm. And I will end on this note here. Mr. Pindling is somebody I used to highly regard. I regard him still, but I don't regard Mr. Pindling nowhere near as highly now as I once used to do. For one, he was the longest serving prime minister in this country, and the constituency that he represented for 25 years is worse off today than it had been before he became prime minister years ago. That's one. Number two, Mr. Pindling in 1972 gave a non-Bahamian company, the Dillingham Corporation, the right, by way of legislation, to mine and export yours and my aragonite, the Dillingham Corporation of Hawaii. At the time, it was 6 cents a ton. Royalties coming to the Bahamas. Now I think it's maybe like $2.50 or so. I don't know if they raised it from $2.50 a ton. $2.50, that is, not $250. Michelle, Mr. Pindling used to tell us that we, as a people, he fought to give us political independence. Now it's up to us to fight for economic independence. Right. You don't do that to me as a person when you are fighting for the independence of a nation. You go for the whole package. Mr. Pindling should have made it a complete package wherein both economic and political independence would have been fought for at the same time. But see, when he is going to turn around and give a non-Bahamian like the Dillingham Corporation the right to mine and refine and benefit from something that his people, he should have ensured that his people in his country ought to have done, I can no longer have regard for the contribution of a prime minister who either was ignorant or was intentional in the harm that he did to the economy and to the future of his nation, which in that respect of aragonite, Mr. Pindling, in my humble opinion, did to this country. Leaders, when they do not have the heart, when they do not have the heart of the people at heart in theirs, they tend to do these kinds of things, whether it's intentional or not.
But here's the thing, JT. You know, you could say, okay, Pindling failed in that regard. But how many?
By the way, you're fuzzing a little. Could you speak a little louder?
I said you could say that Pinling failed in that regard, but how many leaders have led since him who have also failed in that regard?
Well, that's why I made reference to Mr. Christie and Mr. Ingram, because they failed.
Every last one.
Every single one. And right now, we even know what Philip Brave Davis is doing.
In the last administration, I recall very clearly in one of their budget debates, they had zero when it came to revenue from our natural resources. Yeah. Zero. So you could say, okay, we blame Pinland because he didn't do it from the jump. But what about everybody else who has had an opportunity to do it since?
And Michelle, let me tell you what was so glaring about Mr. Christie when he was Prime Minister.
Well, he actually said we don't have any natural
resources. Oh, well, that's exactly what I was getting to. The man went on the world stage in Europe in I think it was December of 2015, told the whole world that the Bahamas ain't got no natural resources. Michelle, I was so embarrassed as a Bahamian when I heard that the very same sunshine, which is a natural resource, that Mr. Christie was telling the world we didn't have, he was using then and still using it now to power his house. Solar energy panels all over his place, I understand. I don't know if Mr. Ingram has got them on his house. I don't know if the Pinling family got it on their houses. But see, when you're trying to be dishonest to your people as a leader, you tend to make yourself as a leader look like an idiot. And with all due respect to the leaders of our country, they have made themselves look like an idiot, and they have embarrassed you and me as Bahamians, because when people look at them and hear the folly that Mr. Christie spouted, they ain't gonna say, oh, Mr. Christie is... No, they saw the Prime Minister of the Bahamas. That was a negative reflection on all Bahamians. We were all made to look stupid when Mr. Christie said that. So, Michelle, what I think we need to do, and maybe if you could help us today to answer the question, what must we now, as citizens of an independent nation, that is going to turn 50 years old next year, July the 10th, what are we now going to do to ensure that the errors of our leaders no longer become the legacy or stop being pursued as the legacy of our future? We have to start asking that and answering that question. This is why I love Graham Weatherford, you know. This is why I love you.
I'm glad you asked the question, JT, but we have to take a break.
Yes, indeed.
But on the other side of the break, we're going to use Ghana as an example of what you can do. Because the president of Ghana made a serious decision that he is going to be about the advancement of his country, his nation, his people. And he, in essence, told the Europeans who had been raping that country for years, ain't happening no more. That game, finish. It's going to require that we get leaders with cojones, who are true statesmen, who will stand up for the rights of the people of this country and say enough is enough. You know, but when you gotta pay the piper back, then you're compromised. And you can't make them kind of statement if you know how you get there. And I'm not pointing any finger at any particular administration. I'm just speaking in general. Who the cap fit, let them wear it. But this is a part of the problem. So let's take this quick break. I really don't know what happened to Melida today because this is not like her. I hope she's okay. But let's take this quick break. When we come back on the other side of the break, we're going to look at Ghana as an example to see what Ghana did to say, okay, enough of that nonsense. It's our time. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digyzyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rim fix and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digyzyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rim fix and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. Let me tell you, welcome back to GPS. When you get some real nutrition in your body, I'm talking real nutrition now, it's amazing the level of energy that you will have. And I know a lot of people out there, energy is a big deal for a lot of people, apart from general ill health. A lot of people are just so tired all the time. So if you're interested in learning how you can re-energize your body while getting healthier, you can go ahead and send a message to us at 824-9952, 824-9952. Just type in energy and they'll get the message to me. 824-9952 or 805-6430, 805-6430. Just write energy and we will know what it is that you're looking for. But I, as a person who, as a certified holistic health coach and a client, I should say, of Youngevity, I take their products. I've been on their products now for years. I swear by them in terms of their efficacy, the fact that you will not only feel energized, but you will be healthier for sure. So getting back to the matter at hand, we are talking today about the African diaspora being reconciled back to the motherland and what that means for all of us as it relates to economic emancipation. And the numbers to call, 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, or our WhatsApp line, 824-9952, 824-9952. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Ms. Malcolm.
Hello.
I think you have a very, very interesting topic this evening.
Thank you.
After listening to your opening remarks and the gentleman who you just spoke to, sometimes I think we tend to simplify these matters. Or we look at it in such a simple manner. We think it's just a matter of snapping your fingers and making these things happen.
Right.
It takes years and years, and in some cases, generations, to make things work and to actually progress. So you might have one leader today who can only take you so far. Then it's up to those who come in afterwards to take them further.
Run with a baton.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot sit down and expect the one who was before to have had all the answers to the questions of today.
Mm.
You see?
Good point.
So in a lot of instances, we are wasting time beating upon a lot of those people in the past as we try to move forward and progress.
I get your point. I agree with you.
Now, we have come a mighty long way considering the damage that was done
mm-hmm.
and the damage that continues to be done to us. I don't know if there's any other group of people or any other race of people would have been able to survive what we survive and still be standing strong, trying to find a way to even push further. Remember when Mandela was in prison? And this is just to show you how the system goes.
Mm-hmm.
When it was time for Mandela to be released from prison, they put certain conditions in place. Do not take back what was taken from you. Leave those good people with all the things they stole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, if you want to rot in jail, keep talking what you're talking. But any indication that you intend to try to equalize this game, buddy, that won't happen. And so they put conditions on him and conditions on everyone else who wanted him to be free. When similar things happened in the Bahamas, then the Bahamas was emerging. The leaders of the Bahamas couldn't then go back and say, hey, I mean, they could have said it. All the land that you people stole, throw it back in the kitty.
Yeah.
Had they done that, I don't know where we would have been today. We probably would have ended up in a bloody civil war. So in their way, they have to craft and navigate their part to try to get us where we are today.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you're in a hurricane, when that big wind is blowing, if you can't bend, you will break.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's necessary to bend for the survival of your people.
Mm.
Like Bob Marley said, he who fights and run away lives to fight another day.
Mm.
You could stand up there all you want and play tough, but when that force comes down on you, you're dead. And if you're dead, you cannot help your people. You have to survive. You have to survive.
That's an interesting perspective.
Another thing that happened in South Africa, one of the conditions they put on the recent Mandela, South Africa had to give up its nuclear weapons. Why? They didn't want that kind of power in the hands of a black nation.
Yeah. You know,
so right away, go ahead.
I had an opportunity to travel to South Africa in 2008 and again in 2009. And I remember talking to one of the taxi drivers who was, taking us around and asking him what was life like after Mandela's release. And one of the things that he said was that, we were all very, very happy that he was released, but there are a lot of people who think that enough has still not been done. And he talked about how there's still so much inequality that for Black children in South Africa, they still had to pay for education at every level. There was no free education for Black children in South Africa, but white children were being educated for free.
Of course.
And that was one of the things that people were hoping that he would have been able to change. Now, I don't know if that is still the case, because that was, like I said, 2009 was the last time I was there. It's now 2022. So that's a long time ago. And maybe they have since achieved that. But at the time, I thought, wow, how can that be right? It's like you intentionally try to keep these people down, even though they have quote unquote freedom.
Of course.
It's
the system is so rigged against Black people. It's incredible. After slavery, there were reparations paid, but it was paid to the white slave owners. They all got rich.
I really hope that my guest makes it on, even if it's only for the second half of the show. She's online now. I don't know. She got the time confused, because she has a lot to contribute to this conversation as it relates to reparations, etc.
They were the ones who received the money. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All the gold in Africa is controlled by people outside of Africa.
Right.
All the diamonds controlled by people outside of Africa.
Right.
All the resources of Africa is controlled by people outside of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And all they did to Africa was deposit within Africa a religion. And ask the people who hold on to this.
Michelle?
Yeah, we're here, Melida. We have a caller that I'm speaking on the line. I hope you can hear him. Go ahead, caller. Continue.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
And in fact, that is part of the problem in Africa. Okay. The religion being it, the people deposited on us. The same people who were stealing from us. The same people who was raping us and robbing us. They say, okay, but now God loves you, we can give you this. And we believe that. And that kind of framed and put us in a certain mindset that even to this day,
right,
we are struggling to free ourselves from.
Right.
But this is going to be a very long journey. I mean, the journey has started, but we just need to just keep pushing and slowly and keep pushing and try to get there. Let's look at what's happening in the Bahamas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Watch this. Right before our eyes, in 2020 or so, we giving away ports. Ports.
Giving away what?
Ports. Where people would land boats, our harbors and our ports.
Okay, yeah.
The port.
Ports. Okay.
Yes. I have an old mother. She is 86 years old, and she told me some years ago, she said, son, if you're going to run a country, there are several things you always need to be in control of.
And one of them is your entry points, yeah.
Your ports, your water, your energy supply, your food, and your telecommunication. And over the last 10 years, we've seen they've given away our telecommunications. Our ports are going. I don't know what the hell is going on with our energy supply. And food is where to put you.
Well, from what all indications were, it seems that the former administration was trying to sell off the energy supply as well. But anyway, listen.
Yeah, so and then if someone is going to control your communication, if they're going to control your water, if they're going to control when and where you get in and out,
then they control you.
They have you.
Listen, caller, I want to thank you for calling. My guest is now on the line, so I want to get back on track to where we're supposed to be. So thank you so much for calling. So Melida, I don't know if you get the time zone mix up. I don't know. That's what happened?
Yes.
Wow. Time zone. Where are you now? Which part of the world are you?
I'm in Panama.
Huh? You're in Panama?
Yes, I'm presently in Panama.
Okay. When I say you ain't come on for a whole hour, I say right now she get the time zone mixed up. So at least we'll have you on for the second half of the show. We've been on now for an hour.
I am so sorry. I am
okay,
thinking that it's 2:00 my time. Yeah.
That's what happened. Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
I figured that was probably the case.
Right, exactly. I apologize
listen,
to the
an
audience.
hour with you is better than no time with you at all. So we're going to take a quick break, and what I've been doing is setting up the show in terms of explaining what you're doing with the journey of reconciliation. But ensuring that we take this discussion beyond just a kumbaya moment where you come and you say, I'm sorry for what my forefathers did. But now going forward, how do we bridge the gap between us so that we can all begin to enjoy economic emancipation?
That's right.
And this great global reset. So we're going to talk more about that on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
Awesome.
I am so happy Dr. Melida Harris Barrow is in the house. Yay. We're going to get into it on the other side of this break. Stay with us. Don't you dare go a step, because it's going to get deep and it's going to get good.
It's going to be hot, man. It's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. Stay with us.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rim fix and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Track Life, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company, along with my guest, Dr. Melida Harris Barrow, a phenomenal woman who is the founder and chairwoman of the 6th Region Global Chamber of Commerce. And through that chamber, she connects people of the African diaspora with persons in the motherland with the view to encouraging economic advancement, business relationships, etc., so that we can all enjoy in this new global reset we've been hearing so much about. And she came up with the concept to have an event called the Journey of Reconciliation that will bring the kings and queens of Africa to the Western Hemisphere to atone for all of the wrongs that were netted upon our ancestors by their ancestors. And Melida, I'm going to give you an opportunity now to tell us a little bit about how that event is going, and then we're going to dive right into how that event is shaping as it relates to helping to bridge the gap between Mother Africa and her lost children to try to get us all to a place of economic emancipation.
Yes, right. Thank you, Michelle. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful to have this opportunity with you. This journey, I don't even call it event or program anymore. I've always called it actually a journey, because this is something that it's a vision, because God gave me this vision. And it's an amazing vision because it brought sense to me after the vision. And that is to connect us all together. Whether you are in Australia, whether you are in Europe, and you are of African descent, it is time for us now to unite, for us to know each other. Most of us don't know who we are, but I believe now it's the time now for us to reconnect. We were disconnected for many, many years, centuries actually. And I think now is the time that this vision became a reality. So today I am going to talk about the manifestation of this event. Now we have kings and queens that is going to be present, even from Hawaii. We have a king from Hawaii that is going to be present, because God wants us all to connect with, and especially people of African descent and the indigenous people. We connected before, and now we're going to reconnect again. This journey is going to take place in Panama City, Panama, May 19th through the 25th. We are going to have women's program, the youth. We're going to have the ceremony where we're going to go to a port, San Lorenzo, where the slaves was brought, where they were not slaves when they took them, but they brought them in San Lorenzo in Panama. We're going to take everyone over there and have our ceremony. The ceremony is going to consist of us connecting with each other. It's going to also be about reaching out for the first time in a long time to our ancestors and let them know that we are present. We are going to fight for our freedom. We already are. And we are going to deal with economics, finances, and connecting in that way. One of the reasons I have to put the business aspect in it is because oftentimes we are doing business with Europe, with China, with everybody else, but with each other. That has to change.
Yes.
It has to change. So that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, prior to you coming on, I played a clip, and I knew that this is the direction that we were going to be going in. I played a clip with a professor who was speaking to a group of students and explaining to them that the Western world needs Africa to remain poor so that they could benefit from the wealth of Africa. So they have to convince Africa at all costs that it is your role to be poor. It's your role to provide us with the raw materials that we need to enrich ourselves. That's your role. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's how we started this show. Talking about how there is this systemic movement to try to keep Africa, and by extension, her diaspora, in a place of poverty, to convince us that that is our role, that there's nothing that we can do to change that. That's just our fate. Whereas the truth be told, no, that's your plot and your plan to try to keep us back. But it is up to us now to open our eyes, to wake up, to wisen up, and to work together to break those chains from off of our back. And that is why the work that you're doing is so important, because it has to start somewhere.
It has to start somewhere. Somebody has to start that platform, because I am just, honestly, I'm just tired of people complaining and complaining. We have become professional complainers. And with the vision that came to me, creating the platform now for us to have the discussion, the awareness, for us now to begin to talk, but then do. We have to go into action. I am tired, my people, of the talk. We have to go into action. We have to start talking about who, where, and how we're going to make it happen. And that's what we're doing. Actually, there are kings and queens calling now. First, I was hunting for them, and now they're calling. Why are they calling? Because they realize that we have to begin now. They realize that it is time for us to meet, that it's time enough to connect, for it's time enough now to work with each other, but in depth, not just come and talk. I don't want to talk anymore. I just want to tell you where we're going. And if you want to get on this ship, you come on this ship. But we're not just here to talk. So many are surprised, because many are saying, and of course, I don't expect everybody to be on this ship, because the mindset have changed us. We still have that colonialized mind. We still have that slave mentality. But I don't expect you to come and tell me what are you doing, and the jealousy. I am done with all of that. What I want is, let's get on the ship and let's talk and let's do. We are doers. One of the things that I have to say also to my brothers and sisters, we're not beggars, you know. We're not beggars, but we were taught to be beggars. God created us as builders. How you think Africa was the way it was? We were builders, not beggars. We keep saying we're poor. I don't understand how Africa, we dealing with kings and queens, we're dealing with politicians, we're dealing with NGOs, we're dealing with all these people from Africa, not from Europe, and you're sitting on a gold mine. You are sitting on minerals. Do you know you feed the world?
Exactly.
You feed the world.
I think I'm going to play that clip again that we played at the top of the show. Did I leave it in there? Hold on, I may have taken it out of the. I may have taken it out of the lineup. Let me see if it's still in the lineup. I may have taken it out. I took it out. I'll have to upload. No, it's still there. The plot to keep Africa poor. Okay. Yeah. Let's just for the sake so the Melody could see that report. It's not that long. We're going to play it again, and then we're going to dive. Let's go to that clip. Clip number 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Africa historically Sub-Saharan Africa has been fundamental to the global prosperity of the advanced countries. Okay? And Africa had a role to play. It has a role as a raw material producer. We will not allow Sub-Saharan Africa to escape that. Okay, we do everything to keep Sub-Saharan Africa where it is, also impoverished. It's absolutely vital for the prosperity of everyone else. So let's get clear about that. Okay, and this means all the economic structures, all the global institutions, and the economics we teach everyone is all designed to keep Africa exactly where it is. And whether it is Europe or US or now China, it's always the same. We need Africa to be impoverished because we need those raw materials and we need them dirt cheap. Okay, so that's the message. It doesn't mean to say that there's nothing Africans can do. Of course there is. Okay, but this is the opposition that they're fighting. This is what it's about. Because if Africa does do something different, I assure you living standards of all those in Europe and North America and Asia is going to fall. Okay? And that is a big price to pay. I assure you that the West is not going to allow that without a big fight. Okay, so this is what it's fundamentally about.
So that spells it out pretty clearly.
I've seen that video before.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you something. We've been at war from day one. This is not new. What he's saying is not new. We can't see it because we don't think we're at war. And I'm going to tell you why we don't think that we're at war. When you're able to have money and you buy your home, you take a vacation once a year, and you buy the glamour purses, shoes with the red bottom and all that, you think you're free. Meanwhile, Europeans are planning your destruction. Why I am doing what I'm doing, and the whole team that I have, is because I know we at war. And the vision that God gave me is the fact that we have to atone to God first. See, what he's saying, that he have to keep us poor, the nerve of him that they have to keep us poor when in fact they're taking what we have. You see, let's deal with the reality and with the illusion. If you keep preaching the illusion that you are rich, and those of us that are sitting on the gold, and we're telling ourselves that we are poor, that is a mindset. They know how to bring the illusion for you to believe it. What I'm saying, and this vision that God gave me, is the fact that you have to start telling your children that they're not poor. The problem is that you are afraid, because he's threatening Africa to say it's going to be war if you go differently. We have to keep Africa the way it is. Because if we don't keep Africa the way it is, we will become poor. You see, Europe is poor. The world is poor. Africa is sitting on all the riches in the world. You understand? But if I keep telling myself that I am poor, I am going to believe it. And if I continue to deal with fear, I will allow those that are poor to come and take what they want. Now, the journey of reconciliation is to bring the kings and queens to one place, and also to bring presidents and all the indigenous people. You see, you can't let the indigenous people and leave them apart. They are part of this. You see, they just don't have a voice. But we all gonna put that voice, that one voice together. And in that voice, because remember, Michelle, that Africans used to come and trade in that region, in Latin America and the Caribbean and all these other places. Everybody forgot about that history. We have to bring the history back, but at the same time, we have to go into action. Just think that every man and woman in Africa were to understand never to say that they are poor. Keep telling your children that they are not poor. We are sitting on a gold mine. The thing is that our mindset, just like what he's saying, we have to keep them poor. If you believe that, you will be. I don't believe that, Michelle. And that's why we have to come together and sit down and talk about business. Why are we not trading with each other?
Yes, yes. And, you know, I'm so glad you went there, because that is leading me. It's a great segue for where I want to go next in this conversation, because there are African leaders who have woken up and said enough is enough. And they are demonstrating what can happen for their people when they have the courage to stand up and say no, no more, no more. Is that a call for the show? Okay, so I wanna play another clip. This is Ghana President Nana Akufo-Addo, who in this particular clip was addressing the leaders of Switzerland.
Right, I saw that one too. Yeah,
were a major trading partner of Ghana, and his policies are transforming Ghana's economy for the better. And in this clip, in essence, he is saying to the Swiss, "You want our raw materials? No problem, but you got to come to us and work within our country in order to have access to our raw material. We're no longer going to give you our raw materials for dirt cheap, and then you go take it to your country and refine it in your country and get yourself rich while we over here suffering." And I want those of you who are watching on Facebook or YouTube, I want you to look at the faces of the Swiss as the president is saying what he is saying. It's comical to watch, but let's go to clip number 3.
Relations between Switzerland and Ghana have for decades been characterized by mutual respect. Not every connection between our two countries can be deduced at first glance. Take the gold freneli, or I can translate the traditional gold coin and the chocolate coins, both products that every child here grows up with and which are considered typically Swiss. But neither would exist without gold and cocoa, which we import on a large scale from Ghana. It is quite simple. We need the raw materials, and you have the raw materials. The resulting trade and business should benefit both countries. This principle is part of mutual respect. Gold and cocoa can create work and wealth in both countries.
Ghana is currently Switzerland's largest trading partner in sub-Saharan Africa, larger from the export of gold and cocoa to Switzerland and the import of chemical and pharmaceutical products, as well as light machinery and military equipment from Switzerland. However, as I have stated on occasion, Ghana no longer wants to be dependent on the production and export of raw materials, including cocoa beans. We intend to process more and more of our cocoa in our country with the aim of producing more chocolate ourselves, because we believe that there can be no future prosperity for the Ghanaian people in the short, medium, or long term if we continue to maintain economic structures that are dependent on the production and export of raw materials. We intend to add value to our raw materials, industrialize and enhance agricultural productivity. This is the best way we can put Ghana at the high end of the value chain in the global marketplace and create jobs for the teeming masses of Ghanaians. It is for this reason that my government continues to put in place a number of measures aimed at attracting investment into Ghana as well as stimulating growth of the private sector. We have succeeded over the last 3 years in ensuring that all our macroeconomic indices are pointing in the right direction. Cut our fiscal deficit, introduced a monetary policy that is stabilizing the currency and reducing significantly the cost of borrowing, and have introduced a raft of tax cuts which are bringing relief to and encouraging businesses. These interventions have led to Ghana recording an annual GDP average growth rate of 7% since 2017, making us consistently one of the world's fastest growing economies during the period. We are one of the most business-friendly economies in Africa, evidenced in our status as the largest recipient of foreign direct investment in West Africa. Ghana has also been selected to host the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade Area, a market of some 1.2 billion people with a combined GDP of US 3 trillion American dollars. It is the world's largest free trade area since the formation of the World Trade Organization. Our goal is to make Ghana the hub of trade in Africa, and thus serving notice on Swiss investors to take advantage of the growing business-friendly climate in Ghana and of our unique position as host of the AFCFTA Secretariat to set up joint venture enterprises in our country and thereby access this huge market that the free trade area presents.
So in other words, y'all ain't coming here and taking our things no more. You want to do business? Come set up in Ghana. You are going to help to enrich my people.
That's right.
But Melida, the point that you raised is so true in terms of the problem in the past has been where trade was only seen as attractive if it was with European or American, whereas there is this huge opportunity that was being missed in terms of trade between the Mother Africa and her diaspora. And so now we're working to change that, correct?
That is correct. That is definitely correct, because when she said, or was he, I'm going back to him, well, what Nana is saying is that, because this is what's been happening, Europeans come to Africa, they take the raw material, they go back to Europe. It doesn't stop there though. It comes to Latin America, it goes to the Caribbean, and then it go right back. We're buying from ourselves.
Yes.
They bring the material to us in Africa.
My God.
Now, how dare you? Then they come back, they come back, and then they say, okay, you guys need fresh water. When your companies came to Africa, destroyed the water system, then you're coming back with an NGO to tell us, let me help you with some fresh water. Let me export and other countries to you using your same raw material. How dare you? You understand? We have to wake up. And this is why I'm doing the journey of reconciliation, but between us. That's it. Right now, I don't need no apology from Europeans. I don't.
Because I ain't putting no food on nobody's table. The apology
and
ain't
I
putting no
don't
food on
need your
nobody's
apology.
table. You're right.
Exactly. So what we need is to focus on ourselves. We don't need to spend our energy begging for certain things that is due to us. I understand that part, because everybody's focusing on the reparation and all this other stuff, but we cannot wait. You're still waiting for many years. What we have to do now, because we're going to have a round table with the kings and with the presidents that are going to be here and the indigenous people. And we're going to have a round table, but we're not going to talk about reparation. And excuse me, my people, I know some of you are going to be upset with me. Do what you do, because yes, it is due to us, but we cannot stay there. We have to start building like our ancestors did. The pyramid was built, they still don't know how, but we built it. The White House was built under us, and guess what? Look at what's happening in America. So let me tell you, everybody, in Panama, May 19th through the 25th, we're going to come together and we are going to have discussion and dialogues about how the same material, we talk about the cocoa, you can process the cocoa in Panama, in Bahamas, wherever. Why you keep taking it to Europe? You understand? So my thing is this. Let's start over. We didn't get it right the first time. Let's start over. This is important that we sit down with everybody and we need to talk. You know why? Because those of you in Africa that are stealing the money, trying to bring it to my country, trying to take it to America, trying to take it all over the place, you know what you're doing? That's a disadvantage of the young people. You're taking the milk out of the baby mouth. For you to hide money in other countries. Let's speak real. This is real. This is happening to our people. You understand? What we need to do is stop stealing from self. It's like walking in your closet and stealing the very shirt that you bought. So Europeans are poor. Do you understand that? They are poor. The only reason that they're in the position that they're in, and the United States is in the position that they're in, because they have taken, and they're still taking, and and this is a blessing. Let me just say this, and then we're going to go into something else. This is amazing to me. No matter how much you take, God keep replenishing Africa.
Isn't that something?
You've been coming for centuries and you've been taking, but you know what? God is still blessing us, replenishing that land that he has given you. And that is because he knows that one day we're going to wake up and we're going to recognize, once we purge ourselves from colonialism, once we purge ourselves from slavery, you are going to see the difference. The light is going to click and you're going to say, no more, no more, and no more. We rise. But this is another thing I want to inject. You know, we've been risen for a long time. It's just the mind need to connect with that.
Exactly.
The mind needs to connect. It's always been there. We just need to wake up. You understand? It's just a matter of waking up. This is why I'm going to Colombia tomorrow in San Andres. I will be there. And they invited me to come to speak to the whole island, to let them know why your island is in the condition that it's in. You know, one thing we forgot. We keep telling us ourselves, we love God, we care for God, we go to church every Sunday. But are you really, really practicing all the things all the tools that God has given you? He said, build your land and stop hating one another. There's a situation there going on with the Raizales, blacks, and the Panias, the Spanish. And there's a conflict. But you cannot hate and think your land is going to be prosperous.
That's powerful.
It's not gonna happen. You cannot have hate for another person only because they're not Raizal, only because they're not your color. Do you know that you've been duped all these centuries about color? You black? You white? That's all an illusion. Because once God created us, he created us in many colors.
Yeah.
So you and I been duped to believe that white is a superior race.
Yeah. All right, don't go anywhere, Jason, because we got to take
it's an illusion.
Take a break. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to continue the conversation with Dr. Melida Harris Barrow. We're talking about the journey of reconciliation, where she's bringing together the kings and queens of Africa with the African diaspora, not just for a kumbaya moment where we all feel good at the end of the day and go home broke. No. The idea is that we're connecting, we're bridging the gap so that we can now begin to trade with each other, that we can begin to enrich each other, so that it's more than just a symbolic reconciliation, but something that at the end of the day will benefit us all. So stay with us. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. This is GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims fix and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. And welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company, along with the Dr. Melida Harris Barrow. And we are talking about the journey of reconciliation and bringing the children of Africa and the descendants of Africa together, not just to reconcile, not just to atone for the wrongs that took place in the past, but more importantly, to find a way for us to bridge the gap so that we can start to work together for the enrichment and betterment of all. You know, in the last segment, I played a clip from Ghana President Nana Akufo-Addo telling the people of Switzerland that, no, we're not going to let y'all do this to us anymore. And you would have heard him refer to the African Free Trade Area, which encompasses a market of 1.2 billion people with $2 to $3 trillion in collective GDP. Well, while addressing the World Economic Forum in 2020, President Addo noted that within the Pan-African agenda, there is an even larger concept of how we can also build effective bridges with the African diaspora. He said, our belief is very strongly that the African diaspora, that is our kith and kin in the Americas and in the Caribbean, also represent a large force for good for our development, and that there we are taking those measures to build. Therefore, we are taking those measures to build a strong bridge across the Atlantic that will also bring them into play in Africa's continental life. In 2019, he revealed that Ghana initiated what is called the Year of Return, which was a commemoration of 400 years of slavery, and to reinforce Ghana's determination that such history will never be visited on the African peoples again, and at the same time, use it as a vehicle for reestablishing and reviving and solidifying our relations with our kin in the Americas. And he revealed that Ghana was putting in place measures that looked beyond the return as to what is next. And so our guest today is on the other side of the world, doing exactly the same thing, putting plans in place that not only bring us together to commemorate the past, but to look at the way forward as to what's next. How do we ensure that the people of Africa and her long-lost children are able to work together in spite of the narrative that has been sold to us over these many years? Let us now throw that nonsense out the window and begin to work together to see how we can better the lives of our people, whether on that side of the world or this. And this is exactly the work of Melida Harris Barrow. Now, before we dive back into the conversation, I want you to understand that Ghana is not the only nation in Africa that gets it. There are others who have woken up, and it all boils back down to strong visionary leadership. In this particular clip that we're going to play next, we're going to look at the model of Botswana, which is another African nation that has figured out, okay, what we've been doing all along hasn't been working for our people. Let us now change our mindset, rethink the way we do things, and elevate our people as a result. Let's go to clip number 4.
We were a very poor, undeveloped country. And in a very short space of time, we've become a middle-income country. We have developed beyond recognition. And that's something we should be proud of. To be successful, you need good governance, making sure that the benefit is spread as evenly as possible. The partnership between Botswana and DBS was such that they needed each other. The minerals belonged to the country. DBS had the skills and the knowledge.
We are happy, and I think our partners on the DBS side are happy. And so I think this is grounds for a healthy relationship going forward.
When I grew up, I used to go to school barefooted, no electricity, no running water. Right now, virtually every village has got electricity. We've got running water. We've got schools nearby. You don't travel long distances. And it's all the money coming from the diamonds.
Diamonds obviously make me a better doctor. When I first came back to Botswana to practice, we were sending patients home because there was nothing else we could do for them. But come ARV therapy, which obviously we've been able to afford through the diamond wealth, suddenly I've got solutions for them. Those solutions translate into healthier people working for a healthier economy, and that really enables me to do my part in the development of the country.
Diamonds have done us very well, but we can't sit back and hope it will always be money from minerals. So the government is embarking on diversification of the economy. We have fantastic wildlife, so tourism is being given priority. But then the manufacturing industry must also be given attention.
Our company Fomex Industries manufactures polyethylene foam. I'm a mining engineer by background, but then I ventured into the business world. Botswana has to look outside for its market. It's got only a population of 1.8 million. So any serious industry cannot survive on that. So you need to be export-oriented if you really want to make an impact.
The partnership is working very well, and now with the DTC moving to Botswana, I think it will take us places because now we are also going to benefit from the diamond cutting and polishing.
The Steinmetz Group has offices and factories all over the world. At the moment, we're teaching around 70 local Botswana people. People are keen to learn. They're very motivated. There's a feeling of blooming in the air.
I believe as a geologist there's still potential to find more mines. I think we're still going to benefit more from diamonds.
It's very important to me having 4 girls that they grow up knowing that they've got the future in their hands. They can choose what they want to do. Their future is bright.
I see Botswana improving faster than it is now. I see Botswana diversifying its economy. I see our education getting better. I see a cosmopolitan, modern, peaceful, democratic society.
Together we are pioneers, setting an example to the rest of the world of what we can do together to bring economic prosperity to Africa. There's no doubt that the world is watching, and we should be pleased about that, because I have no doubt we will live up to their expectations.
So you see what can happen when you decide to be brave enough to stand up for your people and say enough is enough. I see one of my viewers on Facebook says, wow, here's the thing. In that clip, they talked about having running water in every village in Botswana. We don't have running water in every community in the Bahamas in 2022. So for those of y'all who are sitting around talking about poor Africa, we could learn a thing or two. But the key here is visionary leadership. Leaders that are statesmen and women who are more interested in developing and advancing their people than they are in stuffing their own pockets. And it's unfortunate that we have to even say that that is what we're looking for. Because if you are going to present yourself for leadership, my God, why else are you going in there? But the paradox of wealth of nations in Africa and nations like the Bahamas is that we're sitting on all this natural wealth, but the corruption is what is keeping us back. Corruption. How do we, Melida, and maybe you, it's the work that you are doing now, working to address that, to deal with this corruption problem once and for all, so that all can benefit? What is the journey that you have started? How is it addressing that problem? Because that is really at the core of the problem. I think you're muted.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, go ahead
The
now.
core, there's a bigger core, the mindset. You see, these leaders, Nana, President of Botswana, is the mindset. You see, they understand what they can do to better the country for their people. You understand? What they are doing is pretty much imitating, in a good way, Europeans. It might sound a little strange, but the fact that they had really reversed things and just doing the same thing Europeans have been doing to them. Let's take our country. Let's protect our people. Let's feed our people. You understand what I'm saying? It's a fantastic way of looking at the things and saying, well, you know what? They did this to us and they have been successful. Okay, let's try that. And they have tried and they are doing it. And I am so proud of Nana. I am so proud of all our leaders in Africa, outside of Africa, that decided to do what? Purge from colonialism and from a slave mentality. That's the only way Africa is going to be free from all of what is happening. Now, when we come to Panama, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about, okay, if you feel that you still have a slave mind, and in spite of it, we're going to work with you. But right now, we have to work with the people that have purged, that understand the system and why we are where we are today. Now, when I spoke about how they process the cocoa in Europe and so forth, and they don't know much about not coming to our region, let me tell you something, and this has been all of us. In Panama, we were taught by whom? By Spain. In the Caribbean, the British, the French, and what you are learning is to serve them. When you go to school, you're going to school to learn how to serve your masters, not to empower you, because the teachings are not to empower us. The teaching is to continue to serve your masters. So no, you're not out of the plantation yet. You're still in the plantation. You just don't know it. Some people say, no, I want to send my child to a Catholic school. But what you're doing is destroying your child. Because guess what? Are they teaching your children about their history? Are they teaching their children to be proud of who they are? In Panama right now, you see my hair? Many people can't go to work with my hair looking like this. Because last year, one of my friend's son went to school with the afro. They sent him home. They said, you can't come back here. You have to cut your hair.
We have the same problem in the Bahamas.
So much.
Yeah.
Right. But
we experienced the same thing here, and there was this huge uproar.
Exactly. But my point is, we have to go to the nitty-gritty. What bothers you so much
about your
for me to have my hair the way it is? You know what bothers them? You're finding yourself. You're freeing yourselves. And like the man said, we have to keep Africa the way it is. I have to keep those Black people. They can't discover themselves. Because once they discover themselves, they're going to take over. And what we going to do?
Yes.
You see? So that is what is happening in the Bahamas, in Panama. All of us are going through the same thing. Leave my hair alone. Me no want to press it. If me want to press it, me press it. But if I want to leave it the way it is, it's because I'm proud of who I am. And all this kind of things about my color and my hair is bad hair, we need to stop all of that. That's where the reconciliation come in. That's where the healing come in. You understand? We need to heal in order to build. So when we talk about business now, we're not going nowhere until we heal first. Because if you have a complex in your mind, that the way you have your hair, and then you call and you say your hair bad, we have bad hair and white people have a good hair. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. My point is this: How you going to do business with me and have all these hang-ups? No, we need to free our mind. We need to come to the point now that we are happy with self. One of the key things that I discovered over the years, we cannot work. You have to love self first in order to love me. If you hate yourself, then you hate me. So how are we going to prosper? That's why there's so much confusion. That's why the journey of reconciliation and healing, we have to heal first before we go forward. Because I'm tired of us coming together saying the same thing. We got to get together. We got to get together. But that's your desire from your heart. But the hang-ups that we have had, the spills from slavery, the spills from colonialism, we got to clean that up first in order for us now to deal with each other. See, it starts with each other. Like I said, I don't need an apology from anybody, but I do need for us to come together and begin healing. There's so much things that have been done to us. Sometimes parents even tell their children when they come and say, I want to be an astronaut. Son, I don't think so. Me don't have no money. So you can't become, you kill the child dream right there.
My God.
No, this is what we need to tell our children. Son, you're going to be what you say you want to be because God gave it to you. God gave it to you. So now, I don't care what we have to do. We're going to make you and try to do our best. You know why? We don't even know the power of God. Once you say, it'll happen. And God would bring the people and sponsor that child. But in your mind, you killing a child's dream from him 5, from him 6. And guess what? They go nowhere. We have to stop that. How you think I'm doing this program? Journey. Do you think I have big money? No. I just got started. You know why? God said it's the vision that I'm giving you. Move.
Yeah.
Move. And I'm moving.
And the
sponsors are coming.
Yes.
And it's worth it. And it's working. That's right.
Wow. I have a message here on WhatsApp.
That
says, good afternoon, Michelle. It's interesting that you are discussing this topic today with this being the eve of the visit of the royals. So in another 2 days, William and Kate will be visiting the Bahamas. And there has been quite a bit of debate around the visit because it's been revealed that the government of the Bahamas is footing the bill for the visit. And I understand that they were supposed to go to Jamaica as well. And Jamaica tell them, we're not paying for you now to come. So,
that's it.
So they ain't got Jamaica no more. It's caused a big uproar. Well, not actually a big uproar, but there has been some discussion about whether or not we should be fitting the bill for these people to come and visit us with all the money that they have, simply because they yeah. So it's interesting.
They're used to it. They're used to it. Finally, we standing up and we say, we're not paying your bill, pay your own bill. You know, we used to do that, you know. So the idea for this journey, let me tell you guys, it's going to be a reunion, a world reunion of people of African descent coming together. I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of crying. There's going to be a lot of crying because we never really had anything like this. And I do in history, we never had. And another thing that I want to mention is that Panama is hosting the event. They are helping make it happen. And I thank them for it. The other thing is that for you guys to know, we have 8 tribes in Panama. They've really never been invited to anything this big in Panama. This is going to be history for them when we see all chiefs of the 8 tribes in Panama sitting next to the kings. You know why? They're one. They're one. And anybody that calls me and tell me, is this a black thing? This is about humanity. We've all been through hell. This is about humanity. And the color of our skin have nothing to do. You have created this. You have confused the mind over centuries, telling the people that you are superior because you're white, not understanding that you came from a black woman and from a black man. So let's speak truth and stop spreading the illusion of this world. We are proud of who we are. We're just a little confused because you have brought it. You've been putting this in our heads for a very long time. As the European man said, they have to keep you where you at. And if you guys want to stay where you're at, I'm gone. I am going to continue to travel the world and bring awareness. And we all have to do that. When you learn, teach your children. Your children don't have to be in college for you now to come and teach them about their African history. In the United States, they celebrate African history 1 month. And then after that month, you don't talk about yourself anymore. How dare you sit there and celebrate and squeeze in all these events in 1 month? Why don't you continue? Why don't you keep doing it? Who stops you? You.
And the shortest month of that, Melly. The shortest month of that.
And the shortest month. Listen, wait, man, I was going to say that, you know. And the shortest month.
we run another time. If somebody wants to get involved, where do they go? What do they do? Tell us real quick.
Yes. First of all, if you would like to register, it's the go to our website, 6 and then the TH. So it's 6TH, 6 region global chamber of commerce.org, and you can register there. We having the registration fee is $200 now, but on April 15th it will go back to $250, and that consists of all the forums, the ceremony of the Africans and Queens. We also have we're going to have a parliament meeting with the kings and the people of the African descent, where we're going to all come together and we're going to have a dialogue with each other. We're going to have also a gala, which is going to be in that same week. For $75 now, you can register, and then after April 15th, it would go back to $100. We have 2 days of business. Awesome. The first day on the 21st is going to be Panama, discussing the business opportunities in Panama, and also the next day is going to be businesses presenting their business opportunities from their countries, from Latin America, Africa, the Caribbean, and so on. So this is going to be awesome. And again, this is the first time in history that we're doing this. Now, another thing I want to share with you.
We out of time, so we've got to make it real quick.
I want all of you from the Caribbean to remember this. Yeah, real quick. I want to say this to all of you. Remember now that most of your ancestors came to Panama and they built the canal. Where are the children of today taking opportunity of that? That's what I want to say. And thank you. This is Dr. Melida Harris Barrow. Again, you can call us at 954-253-4656. I love you, Michelle. Bahamas, get involved.
Charles Kemp says to tell you hello. We got to go. Out of time. Listen, thank you so much, Melida, for joining us on the show today. I'm going to call you later, okay?
Sure.
All right. That's my time.
Okay, baby. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so you know what that means. We're going to be talking about your health. Do not miss tomorrow's show. I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thanks so much for being a part of GPS, and have a good afternoon, everybody.
Global 99.5 FM.